Meanwhile, the Waco Pride Network joined today's city council meeting in hopes of getting more city support for its members and also some advocates. 25 News reporter Andrew Lemparski was at that meeting earlier tonight. Hey, Andrew.
Hi, Todd. That's right. More than 10 LGBTQ community members and allies shared their stories with the Waco City Council today. They're calling for protections, and they're also calling for the city to recognize them going forward. I
hope you will join us in extending an embrace to this community.
By one. I'm used to being the only trans person people think they know.
Well, not for nothing, man. And this is just the honest to God truth, man. I don't know any shapeshifters. I don't know any. I don't. If you know one personally, hit 1 in the comment section. If you don't, hit 2. I don't know any. I rarely ever see them. So, I mean, I feel this guy's pain, I feel their pain, right? I feel their pain. But I don't know any.
I'm used to being the only trans person people think they know. Central Texans from the LGBTQ community took turns sharing their experiences with the Waco City Council. One of them, Victoria Brumbaugh.
Because lately it seems like the only time you ever hear from a trans person is when we're defending ourselves. And I thought a trans point of view about transition was very important to hear.
You know, this country has really jumped the shark when American icons like Peter Griffin are now transitioning. And man, I love that show, man. I love that show. I love Family Guy, man. I never saw this coming. I'm shocked by this. I'm sure Quagmire's excited. But I gotta admit, man, I mean, an American institution like Peter Griffin, who's next? Is Will Smith going to come out of rehab? Is Walona Smith? I mean, what's next, man?
Victoria Brumbaugh.
Because lately it seems like the only time you ever hear from a trans person is when we're defending ourselves. And I thought a trans point of view about transition was very important to hear.
Advocates are calling for more LGBTQ awareness and support from the city. From declaring June Pride Month to adding non-discrimination protections for Waco City employees.
We know fulfilling these requests will take courage. We just ask that your courage match ours in coming before you.
No vocal opponents joined Tuesday's discussion, but it's still not clear how the city council will move forward. Councilmember Kelly Palmer says she was happy to hear so many LGBTQ voices.
Getting to hear from some of the other trans members of just the pain and trauma they carry in their body, and also the euphoria that they've experienced once they've transitioned and found supportive communities was just really compelling.
People like Brumbaugh say their goal tonight was simply to be heard.
And if we can find our commonality, we can see that, trans people aren't different. They're not the other. They're just like you. We're just like you.
And
not exactly. I mean, you're not just like us. But scratch that. They talking about the trauma and pain they hold in their bodies. Man, let me tell you something, man. I grew up in the chocolate city, man. Got a whole lot of trauma and pain in my body, man. Want to hear about it? No? You don't care about my pain, huh? 'Cause I'm cis. What they call it, cis? No, we don't want to hear about my pain, huh? Okay, that's cool.
And if we can find our commonality, we can see that, trans people are different. They're not the other. They're just like you. We're just like you.
And for her, hopefully move the council to make change. City council members couldn't make any formal motions on those requests today since it wasn't an agenda item, but speakers say they're asking the city to do something soon. Live at City Hall, Andrew Lamparski, 25.
Now, not for nothing, man. Who you think is making these shapeshifters feel threatened? Or who's harming them? When one of them is killed, who's the culprit? What communities are they least safe in? Now, I did a video on this back in the day, man. I think y'all know the answer, man. But they're not going to talk about that. Which is odd. All this, and we're not going to talk about, like, if one of y'all gets killed, 95.9% of the time, it's a certain type of person. We're just going to gloss over that.
UTA down in Austin will let students live together in certain campus residence halls regardless of gender or sexual identity. The university says the family and friend expanded roommate option is a 2-year pilot program. Both roommates have to be UT students. According to the Tribune, students have been pushing for that program for about 15 years now. The school...
Listen, man. So all this talk about date take. Remember when we was younger? It was all about date take. Predators, young men are predators on college campuses. And it was a big deal when I was in college. Big thing. It was one of the girls, man. It was a big thing. It was a whole thing, man. Date take. The guy takes it on a date. All the girls saying it happened to them. No, it was like the original Me Too movement back in the 90s and in the 80s. And all it took was some shapeshifters to make some fuss. And now we got, they letting boys and girls room together in dorms now. I think that's a terrible idea, man. They're eroding the fabric. The reason boys and girls are separated in that time of their lives in college, first of all, it's a safety issue. Second of all, it's school. You're there to learn. Order. The girls got their dorms. Listen, when I was in college, the girls had a floor. The girls had a floor, the guys had a floor, and the girls had a floor, the guys had a floor, the girls had a floor. I lived in like a high rise. The college I went to, we lived in like a high rise, it was like one of them project buildings in New York City. And it was fine. You could get to the girls. You just go to their floor, go to their room. You didn't have to. This is not. I wouldn't want my daughter rooming shacking up with some guy. in college. Like, if she wants to live with a guy, she can meet a guy, date him for a while, and if they want to move in together and get an off-campus apartment, fine. What's going on, man? They just did chip by chip, and a lot of people look at this like this nothing. Oh, this is nothing. This is huge, man. This is part of the erosion of the fabric of the way things weren't so bad, man. Like, they got you don't change everything, man. And people are gonna rebel against this, man. They're changing everything too fast. 48 Laws of Power says reform, change, but never reform too much at once. People will scream from the highest mountaintop for change, but they like change in increments. This is too much at one time, man.
UTA down in Austin will let students live together in certain campus residence halls regardless of gender or sexual identity. The university says the family and friend expanded roommate option is a 2-year pilot program. Both roommates have to be UT students. According to the Tribune, students have been pushing for that program for about 15 years now. The school does have dorms that are already co-ed, but it did not allow students of the opposite sex to actually share a room. Several other Texas universities like UT Dallas, UTSA, and the University of Houston and Texas Tech already have programs like that. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wants a Texas version of Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill. It prohibits classroom lessons on sexual orientation or gender identity for kids below the 4th grade. Patrick said the Education Committee will hold hearings before the next legislative session in January.
Breaking news, an arrest in the murder of a 55-year-old Baytown mother and grandmother. This is the mug of the accused suspect, Amir Ricardo Ferguson, arrested in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hey, maybe he was right. They are just like us. The sun man be's a sun man. Arrested for felony murder, man. That lace front is a felony. Good God Almighty. And y'all say y'all can't tell the difference. Who did he fool? Like, no joke, man. I'm not even like trying to be funny. Like, who'd he fool? Who was like, I know. Had no idea. Word. Oh, man. Who'd he fool?
Breaking news, an arrest in the murder of a 55-year-old Baytown mother and grandmother. This is the mug of the accused suspect, Amir Ricardo Ferguson, arrested in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, earlier this month, police say ring surveillance footage shows Ferguson approaching Roxanne Innes's home and telling her her car had been sideswiped. Police found Innes shot lying in the street next to her car. Using that ring video and tips, police say they matched the video to Ferguson's social media accounts. According to court documents, Ferguson told police he lured Innes out so another man could shoot her, but police have charged
So now we're luring people out of their houses so people can shoot them. And I guarantee this woman didn't know these people from a can of paint, man. They probably was luring her out to try to rob her, a home invader, and it went bad. You look out your door and you see this telling you to come outside. Call the police, man. She should have been like, oh, really? My car's been sideswiped? Okay, I got the police on the line right now. Can you wait around? You're a witness, right? Can you tell the police what happened when they get here? They're on their way. Homie would have boogied out of there so fast, he'd have kicked it. You can't trust the Sun, man. And I get this. That's why even SunTrust Bank is no longer called SunTrust Bank. They changed their name to Truist. Because they know you can't trust the Sun. They know it. He said, man, nah, we can't call ourselves SunTrust, man. That's false advertising, man. Better Business Bureau gonna come after us, man. We changing our name to Truist, man. You can't trust the Sun, man. Some Sun man knocking on your door. Okay, I just called the police. They're on their way. They're gonna check it out. Can you wait? Can you wait outside and tell them what you saw when you get here? When they get here. That's how you deal with them, man. Don't trust them, man. Don't trust them. They're always up to something, man.
Now, earlier this month, police say ring surveillance footage shows Ferguson approaching Roxanne Innes's home and telling her her car had been sideswiped. Police found Innes shot lying in the street next to her car. Using that ring video and tips, police say they matched the video to Ferguson's social media accounts. According to court documents, Ferguson told police he lured Innes out so another man could shoot her, but police have charged Ferguson with murder.
Don't know the person, never seen them before. The video shows him coming up to her doorstep, and 7 minutes later, the police said someone called and they found her deceased in the road.
Russell Innes' niece, Ashley Green, says the video shows her walk outside the home. She says it was too dark to see anything else. Her body later found with a gunshot wound to the head. Green says their family is still trying to piece together the why.
They didn't go in the house. She was laying in front of her vehicle. There was nothing missing from the car. The car didn't look like it was bothered, so we don't know.
Russell Innes, a mother of 4, a grandmother, and a sister.
She was our light, and to know that our light has been taken, it's just a lot.
Her family hoping someone will recognize the person seen in this video and come forward.
Someone heard something, someone saw something. We would just want them to understand if it was their family member, someone would want us to say something.
Brittany Ford, KHOU 11 News.